So, Daniel, what was the biggest challenge for you that you were facing with HOAs and condos before coming to this workshop?
The biggest challenge I had was not knowing how to even begin to contact the people that I needed to contact to be able to bid jobs and, let them know that I have a service that they could use. That was my biggest challenge I was aware of, but um, not only did I find that get the answers to that, but I also learned how to develop relationships with these people and increase my chances of being the winning bidder.
Did you have any aha moments?
I want to say yes, I did have some aha moments. Just overall, the entire package, the system, um, in itself is a huge aha. I have a clear pathway forward to drive my business in the direction that I was hoping to when I signed up for this course. It delivered everything as promised, and even several things that I didn't realize I needed. I learned.
That's awesome. Anything specific stand out?
Meet Nurture offer gives you a clear path to going from just knowing somebody to developing a relationship with them and showing that you are capable of being their preferred go-to person for the services you're offering.
Right. It shows you also how to, monetize the relationship.
Right.
What about the scoreboard? Was the scoreboard valuable for you?
Scoreboard's very valuable because you can't it allows you to track your progress. It allows you to identify um, maybe weaknesses and strengths, but more importantly, you can't you can't manage something that you don't track.
Yeah, tell us the value of this system, being someone of your background, being an engineer that builds planes. Like how do you what's the correlation that you saw there with the system?
Most people on the outside looking in, whether you're watching an airplane fly over, whether you're sitting in it, flying in it as a passenger, most people have no understanding whatsoever of what all goes into making that entire system work. And of course, you have that system is a bunch of subsystems, and then there's subsystems, and there's backup systems, and redundant systems, and all everything is systems. So coming into this business, from a totally different background, never having done business before, obviously there I knew there was a formula for success, but I didn't really realize there was a system that was laid out, planned out. Our marketing systems, and there's systems on how to get seen, noticed, and be the person providing the service to your target customers. Had no idea what that was. Now I know exactly what that is.
How are you approaching this market now? How are you going to be approaching this commercial market?
I had a very vague idea of how I might approach it, and that idea wasn't completely off, but it lacked key components to make it successful. And and I now have all those pieces, all those components in place to be able to actually make what I had envisioned work. Whereas before I did not have that. I had no idea to how to make that vision work. You've given me the tools that I need to bring my vision to fruition.
You feel confident of that?
Yes.
Excellent. And if someone was on the fence about joining this particular system, this program, what would you tell them? Would you recommend it? Would you tell them to steer clear of it? What would you say?
No, I mean, steer clear of it at your peril. If you don't have a system, in this system in particular, you're operating at a disadvantage. This system is a distinct advantage. Money well spent. The return on it will be, literally hundreds of times over, if not more. If you don't spend the money on this, whatever you spend the money on, it's not going to give you near the return
Hmm.
that
Thank
you
you.
would get from spending it on this.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Thank you for sharing that. I appreciate it. And Daniel, I got two more questions for you. Is there anything that surprised you about the workshop? Anything that surprised you the most?
I guess I'm kind of a realist kind of guy. I know what I don't know, or I know that I don't know everything, I guess. So there's a lot of stuff that I learned that while it didn't surprise me, because I knew there's so much that I didn't know. So I was already prepared for that, to be learning things that I had no idea existed, or were never framed in the way that you framed it. Surprised isn't the right word, but I feel much more educated
Hmm.
about it now than I did, and that's really what I came here for is an education. And of course, when you're getting an education, you learn things you didn't know.
Yeah,
Um, uh, so yeah, I'm not. I don't know if I call it surprise, but thoroughly well educated.
I got it. Okay, fair enough. And there's the things that you know, there's the things you don't know, or the things you know that you don't know, and the things that you don't even know that you don't even know. I
Right,
think we
right,
covered quite we went into that world of things you didn't even know you didn't even know. So for
right.
example, the how to get paid to market yourself. What'd you think about that one?
Yeah, that was an interesting one, and so that's one that, yeah, that I would say I was surprised at that. That's pretty creative, and not something that I realized was a thing. I- I'm curious to see how well I implement that and to see if I can make that work for myself. And that's probably a good. I don't know if part of your speed workshop is part of that.
Yeah.
I think I might need a little somebody else holding the handlebars with me while I'm going through that the first time.
Well, we can definitely help you with that when the time comes. That's part of what the speed program is as well, but that's a topic for another day. But do you feel confident now moving into this market?
Yes, I do. Um,
Why?
because I feel like I have the passion for it. I believe in my business model. I just needed to know how to break into the market. And even if I can't do that initially, because it's going to be, even with this program, it's going to be kind of hard to do it with no history. One of the things, that we talked about was that, you know, property managers, they're looking for people with a proven track record. And so not having that in this business is going to be, well, it's going to be a challenge initially until I build up that track record. As you said, be having show integrity, um, you know, uh, say what I do and do what I say, and that's going to be the best tool to build that trust quickly, even though I don't necessarily have results to show.
Can I lean into that real quick for you
Yes, please.
in service of you? I want you to remember this quote. Whatever I lack in ability, I make up in leverage.
Mm,
So if you can leverage others, that's a fast track to getting trusted by them. If the trust is there, that gives you the in to be able to do a demo. And what do they say? Seeing is believing, right? That's what you need to do.
okay, perfect. Thank
All
you.
right, so that's it. Well, thank you for this testimonial. I appreciate it. Thank you, Daniel. Thank you for your feedback.
All right, thank you, Jonathan.